And of course, I think like a lot of people know that you are the owner of Harvey Norman in this part of the world, and also World of Sports as well. Yeah. Just very curious because I think like your level of diversification is very interesting. I mean, from shoes to real estate, and then to retail appliances. Also to sportswear. Of course, World of Sports has shoes and all that as well. Like, where do you learn all this like business building skills? Who is your mentor? Who was your mentor?
If you look at the shoe was 1982. Maybe 94 trading is similar industry. No much changes. It's just only import the different.
Right.
86 to 90, we are more like a wholesale, the import and exporter.
Right.
From Taiwan, from Hong Kong. It's also interrelated. Children, women's shoes, men's shoes. Interrelated.
Right.
In 90, we changed slightly, the strategy changed after 8 years. We say, why don't we represent certain brand, international brand? So 1990s, we traveled to United States. We brought in the sports shoe. That's the first time we represent a good so-called international brand. But from there to 1996, we are very focused. We bring in quite a lot of brand, including Prince racket,
right?
Shoe Prince racket, rollerblade. I don't know you know in East Coast people use the rollerblade, and many other brands as well.
Right.
So during the 1990 to 96, maybe we acquire maybe 10 to 15 brand.
Right.
We travel quite often to Germany.
Trade shows and all that.
Trade show. When you go to the trade show as a young man, you can walk from the morning 9 o'clock to the shut and 6 o'clock. So we did quite well in the sense the 6 year as an international brand. But to me, I think the industry about the same. Not much changes. Only 1997, the second listed company, Rebel, is a retailer. So sport retailing in Australia and New Zealand, but also quite close to my 1996, 90 to 96, the industry, quite close. We still focus, you can see still more or less in the same. I can't see so much different. The only difference is in 1999. That's where the Harvey Norman. When I met the owner, he founded the company. He very good. He know his industry very well, and he doing very well. So I'm in this part of the world. He's in Australia and New Zealand.
Right.
So I invite him to say, why don't we form a partnership? You see, when you don't understand your industry, right? There's another thing you can do. Find a partner who understands the industry. He understands the industry. I only know my market. I already in Asia Pacific, Hong Kong, Australia. So we already cover quite a fair bit. Taiwan. What I have is the territory.
Right.
I'm familiar because I set up my subsidiary. He have the expertise in the industry. That's why we form a joint venture. So there's a different. If I'm on my own, I'm not sure I can make it. So because my partner is very good, so we form a partnership. So that in 1999, I can consider this is electrical, electronic beddings and furniture is our next venture.
Right.
Yeah.
And subsequently technology and then into many other businesses.
Technology, of course, I have to depend much on all the techie, right? All the technopreneurs, so-called. You know, they have a lot of ideas. You ask me whether, George, are you familiar with technology? It's very hard.
Right.
From software in India, right, all the way to e-commerce. Our e-commerce in China is ahead of Alibaba. But sometimes ahead, Melvin, may not be a good idea. So we have a group of very talented people from America. It's a Chinese study in America. They work in America, all the big company. They form a company, e-commerce. But because they are ahead, timing is all about business. Sometimes also about timing, you know.
Right.
You cannot be too fast, you know.
Cannot be too slow. So
You cannot be too slow. Too slow, you get nothing.
right.
All right. Sometimes you just get it right, you know. So I think we are ahead of all these people. Then after that, we heard about Alibaba. It's a waste, actually. It's a very talented people. All the people we put together, we put quite a fair bit of money into China.
Right.
So market is already correct. It's already sitting in China.
It's just the timing.
You see, the time our team is quite good. In India, so the business model is very similar to Infosys. Wow, also right. The space is correct, you know. So this in China, e-commerce, also right.
Right.
But just didn't make it. If both make it, if this make it Infosys or Satyam, there's another company called Satyam, or HCL, another company. If one of these make it, right, today I may be the Jack Ma, you know. But this not happen.
Singapore, yeah.
Yeah, but because we already in the right country.
Right.
Both is the population 1.3, right? Billion, right? So it's correct. Timing just wrong.
Right. So I'm very interested to know, like you mentioned about timing, which is one of the business principles. Do you even have a mentor, or you learn everything through experience over all these years? Like who taught you the business principles, or do you read a lot? Do you read widely? Where do you pick up all your skills from?
One thing I like is I like to read. Because today people talk about online.
Yeah.
We don't. I'm talking about paper. So I quite enjoy in the sense, the trend, paper sometimes can give you some idea about the trend. Because news supposed to be ahead, right? Cannot be behind us, it should be ahead. So paper and magazine, I like magazine also. Wherever I go in a plane or where I will read one.
Right.
Because magazine, another plus point, they will give you all the trend of the new phone, they will give you all the new technology, they will give you a new architecture, they will give you keep learning. It's like our brain is like database. You keep learning new things. I like to see architecture. I love architecture. So you keep learning new things from a paper, from this, from here. Of course, I also listen BBC.
Right.
So there is one part about self-learning, not sufficient enough. Fortunate enough because I'm the international organization already. So I travel to Germany, France, UK, United States, Italy, Spain, so India, China. So that give me a lot of advantage of international exposure. I met 3 groups of people internationally, close to 20 countries.
Right.
You ask me whether I got mentor. These are the mentor. They push you to the level you become a very good entrepreneur.
Right.
So we learn quite a fair bit from all these people. When we met them, you can see. But of course, you must have an attitude going there, just not only for wine or German, you're talking about beer. You can do that. But
Right.
if you're serious about it, you can learn a lot of things from them.
Right. So that was during the years of when you went to a lot of trade shows, international expansion.
Exactly.
Right. In the end, what was the working relationship with the Benetton family? I mean,
If you cannot produce result, do you think they will keep you? They won't. These people are very clear.
right.
As I mentioned, people who own the brand, they're not only talking about revenue sales, they're also talking about you can protect the brand in this part of the world. If you take, because we took quite a few countries,
Right.
from Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, Brunei, Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, China.
Right.
When you can cover so many countries, they view you quite different. You must be somebody that they trust you a lot. If not, you will not happen. So I have some exposure in this area. If you combine together, not too bad.
So you actually learn, I would say, like through the years of exposure, experience, and basically through all these challenges, and also wanting to make sure that you can really deliver results through the years, right? Yeah. So maybe I think what will be very useful for younger audiences is that if you can break down what is 1 to 2 key success principles when it comes to business, what will these 2 principles be? Before we move to, very interested to talk about your education journey as well, because I know recently you obtained a degree in opera and classical music as well. So maybe to sum up for the business principles part, what are 2 key success principles that you have learned over the years?
For the young people, what I suggest, if you want to become an entrepreneur, make sure the industry you're going in, you're familiar. Doesn't matter.
Right.
In 1982, I have another friend, also just same year, we started the same year. It's a hair salon. Just a husband and a wife and a brother, three of them. Day and night cut.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what they hire, maybe hire one or two. Today, this family is one of the most successful entrepreneur. So I say, if a hairstylist can make it, right? A shoemaker like myself make it. You see, our industry is the same one because they are hairstylists. So they cut day and night.
Right.
I'm a shoemaker. I day and night making shoe. To the young people, I will say, what are you familiar? You don't go and share with me, say, my friend was telling me robotics is a very good industry. Chat GPT is very good. Let's go into it. You don't understand, no point. But don't worry about your first industry, where you're going. You can diversify later. You can. Just like yourself, Melvin, you have 100 staff under you now. If one day you think about it, can you become one day to become a developer? Of course, it's a nature. What you need to do is not set up here, just set up another development. So maybe one day you because you know the location, you know the costing of purchasing price, you also know the cost of the construction cost. You also know where to get all the contractor, subcontractor from head to toe. You know that because you met so many people in your life. So what I'm trying to say to the young man, please go into the industry. Number one, you're familiar. It's okay. Doesn't matter what industry.
Don't be distracted.
Don't distracted.
Right.
Focus on that part. And maybe 1 year, 2 years. Because you are very familiar, right? So of course you hold differently, right? Just like a boat or motorbike or whoever, right? If you are very familiar, you are right, very careful, easily for you to do, right? If you keep thinking of, some friend were telling me this industry very good, just jump into it. Oh my goodness, that one I a bit worried on that.
Right.
Yeah, this is the key principle. The second principle, if you say, now I become entrepreneur, I'm more or less like BOSS, boss, right? That one is a clothing brand called Boss. Forget about the boss. You understand? Not? You just have to think, can you work hard or not? 16 hours to 18 hours, can you do it? If you can do it, then please welcome to be an entrepreneur. Because entrepreneur, all work is very hard.
Right.
There is no other shortcut you can do it.
Yes.
So third one, I say all the time, from the day one, control your cost. Regardless of anything, include a bottle of water you buy.
Right.
If you can buy a container, please buy a container. If you cannot, at least buy in bulk, make sure it's direct from the source, 50 cents from Malaysia.
Right.
So don't go and buy from a merchant $2. They make no sense to us at all.
Right.
So these are the 3 points.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, focus on your niche, be prepared to work hard, and of course,
Control your
control
cost.
your costing.